guys can see that. Oh yeah, you guys can see that. Let's say we have the ball. I'm gonna get rid of this. Boom, boom. Alright, let's say we have the ball, right? We pass it, center back has it. Usually, what happens is we have one guy right here, one guy right here, and we're super wide. One guy right here, and this guy is like all the way back here because there's no offside. So their defense is like one guy's back covering this guy, and then they just push up. So then they have one guy here, defense covering this guy, one guy here covering this guy, and then they have their middle player covering this guy, and then they just like that, covering this guy, covering this guy. And so if we have the ball here, and we're not fast enough to pass it, you know, we can't really go anywhere. Let me turn the volume up. We can't go anywhere. We're stuck. Because if we go here, all these guys are already covered. And let's say they don't do that. Let's say we have time on the ball and we're trying to build up. This guy's still back here, and they go boom, boom. We have the ball here, and then we have one guy here and one guy here, and these guys are just going to be here. Boom. And all we have is this guy, and what's going to happen is we're going to have the ball here. We're going to try and pass it to this guy, and there's no way, unless we got a good player, there's no way we're going to be able to go from here and go up. We can't do that. Because not only can this guy cut here, this guy can cut, and even this guy can cut that passing lane. Because this guy, he's not, in this position, he's not being threatening. Because if our middle guy passes it back, and this guy moves up, he can't pass it back to the middle. He's gonna have to go back here, boom, and then they push up. And then we're back at the first scenario again. So, how do we fix that problem? Problem. This guy is isolated in the middle, and because there's not that many players on the field, the other team can cut off pretty much everything. As such, we're gonna need to bring some support to the center midfielder. Okay, how do we fix this? First solution is, let's just say they're here. First solution, what do we see? We see is this space is open, and so is this space. Open for player movement, not for the ball. It's open for player movement. So, what we can do is, instead of just having the one center midfielder be isolated, one of the wingers, or even the striker, can drop down. The key with this is, okay, let's work it out. So let's say the striker drops down. Keep in mind, the striker's job is just to stay in an offside position because there's no offside. So let's say, actually, you know what, let's say striker doesn't do that, and he has one defender on his tail. Let's say we're gonna have this winger drop down, and this winger drop down, and everybody tucks in. Because the issue with having this right now is the fact that we can get the ball to this guy, but all the passing lanes, except for passing it back and doing a long ball, they're all cut off. So if on the build-up, let me erase this. So if on the build-up, we can tuck in, so we're going to move the X's, including the defenders, closer, right? Let's move the other team closer as well. Boom, and let's move these guys closer. Watch what happens. What happens is the field is much tighter. However, since we are tighter, it is much easier to get the ball between defender to defender, boom, to midfielder, and here's where it comes in. Once we have the ball here and we have these two midfielders tucked in, what's going to happen is he's going to have to find somewhere to pass. Either he's going to go back to the defender and go back here, circulate, or he can look for a pass out wide because they're tucked in. If this midfielder comes in and is able to get this pass, what happens is we now have all this space. and behind. Granted, that's not a very easy thing to do. We're probably just going to go back here. But even if that happens, there's still that space. What we can do from here is then, boom, the striker can come to collect this space, and we can circulate. So then, he gets the ball here, the striker goes all the way out here, long pass, holds the ball, now we can attack. It's a lot easier said than done, but that's the idea. Right. The problem is we always get this ball here, and then these guys are way too far wide in order to receive the ball. The defender can just cut it off. So, if we have the midfielders tuck in, it opens up a lot of movement. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of triangles. Like even here, if this guy tucks in, right, this guy can go forward or even wider. So then if we get this ball here, who's this defender? The defender's going to be probably around here. Boom. Passing lane right here, 1, 2, or even look towards the middle, and then we can play that way, or even the striker can do that and go behind this guy, and then once this guy follows, the midfielder is it. So the key is for the defenders to stay close and the midfielders and striker to have movement. Let's say, for example, we have the ball here. Well, where can we go? This guy can come down, grab this ball, and then we have the same problem again. He, middle, comes to pick it up, and where can he go? Now, that way, unless we're able to find a magical pass and go that way, or can turn around and look at this space that's here. Either for this midfielder to come in, and then we have an attack that space, or even the striker to come in, and the midfielder out wide. But what needs to happen for this space to be attacked? Somebody needs to come in and help, right? Because he can't do it by himself. Sometimes, and we wish it would happen a lot more often, but sometimes he can't do it all by himself, and that's fine and dandy with me. Done it before, can't do it again. Alright. Oof, sorry about that, guys. Excuse me. Alright. Now we're going to go over defensive structure. So we line up in the 3-3-1, and let's let's say, actually let's go with a goal kick. So let's say they have 3, boom, and then everybody's gonna have one guy offside. So one guy always has to stay back as a sweeper since there's no offside. The defenders, in theory, should be right with their guys. However, what this leads to is a speed battle, and I, for one, am not very fast. And if I get caught out, it's over. So, what I would like to see is the defenders stay close. A little tucked in, just like in the attack. Not super wide, but tight. Tight. So that when this guy gets the ball, he's not immediately already having to turn around and sprint back. If he's back here, close to the midfielder, if he gets done, this guy can cover, and then this guy can cover. However, that's not going to happen, right? We're going to be far enough to where we're still tight and still compact, but close enough so that when they get the ball, we are fast enough to step on it. And usually, I mean, they'll turn and pass it and whatever, but once they turn, it's key to follow. If you see that you're back here and you're pressing and they're just passing it and you're a defender, I just want you to get back. I want you to look at the game and get back and make sure that the defense is tight. Because let's say, let's say, oh, we're super tight and they find this space out wide. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Then you can follow. But what happens then is that you have the chance to get back, to cover, to come and run to goal and prevent the cross, right? If you are out wide here and this guy comes here and they pass it, boom, you can stay with it and it'll probably work. But guess what? They have all this space. And where's the goal? In the middle. The goal is not out here in the corners. Sure, I agree that obviously we don't want the opposition to get back, like get forward, but in my opinion, in this case, it's better to be here and be able to cut this line off and be able to get back here and stop him here and make him go back and pass it back than, where's my thing? Than being here and then now you're tracking back and trying to cut it off right here. Because now you're trying to cover this whole area, and if they break this line, you're out of the game. And then we're cooked. What time is it? Right? So that's for the CBs. Now for the attackers. Let's say they have, where's the ball? That's the ball. Let's say they have the ball, and we press this guy. They pass it, press this guy, we pass it. Am I missing 1, 2, 3, 6, 1? No, I'm not. Oh, wait, this guy. let's say they pass, boom, boom, boom. Your job as an attacker is to just press and try to make him make mistakes. Push, be aggressive at this point, and then if you make him turn around and pass the ball, you know you've done your job. Once he passed the ball, you can back up and get back in line. Right? Because if you keep following them, now this space is open if the left midfielder goes forward. So that's not what we want. What we want is a shape that can press, right? And some basics of pressing is if this guy has the ball here and he doesn't know where he's gonna go, you make him choose a side. So if you're the striker, you can run and curve this way so then he can't pass it this way. You force them to pass it this way, and then we already know that this guy's gonna have to come down and this guy's gonna have to come down, and then that's when this guy can press and then this guy can come down and follow, as long as the space behind is covered by this guy and we're doing it in a safe way. What we also don't want is if they have really good dribblers and really good passers, right? There's no point in pressing hard all the time. If they have the ball here, they need to do something with it, right? So the striker, you can press if you see they're having trouble on the ball, or if they're trying to decide, you can press, but you know they're going to pass it before you do, unless their back is turned to their own goal. If their back is turned to their own goal, full speed ahead. But if they're looking for passing options, looking up, best you can do is stay there and try to cut it off as best as you can. Once they release that ball, boom, pass it to whatever side, that's when we press. So this guy, let's say he's back here. We don't want this guy, our right winger, right midfielder, to be all the way up here. Why? Because now this space is open. And here they can play, boom, 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 pass, tiki-taka, Yarden, 7-1. Mercy roll. What we want is to stay right here. Stay in a far enough distance where if they go pass it here, or if they pass it here, you can press, but if they pass it here as well, you can go there as well. And that goes for everyone. Once you see someone press this guy, everybody needs to make sure they have their people covered. So these people need to make sure they go down, and these people up here can stay with their people or even tuck in a little bit and make sure that those passes can be intercepted if they go far. Alright, that's gonna be it for this stream. Let's go Salsa Magic. I know we can do it. Like this video, subscribe. Most important thing is to have fun up there. This is just something fun I did. I just wanted to have some fun. I thought it'd be funny to, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I hope you guys took something out of this, but make sure to have fun. Don't beat yourself up if you make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up if you don't follow exactly what I'm saying, because I actually never went pro. I was never gonna go pro. I'm just a guy who loves the sport. And who knows? This whole thing may just be worth squat. But let's give him our all. Let's give him our all, and I believe in us. I believe in us. I believe in us. We can do it. We can do it. That's it. If you have any questions, just message me privately, or not, or whatever. I don't know. Do whatever. Just let's go out there, have some fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Let's score some goals. Let's defend some goals, and let's win this thing. Okay.